You've been sitting at a small cafe, nursing a cup of coffee and staring at your phone. Your mother had called just an hour ago, and you'd promised to meet her for dinner tonight. But now, as you sit here, you can't shake the feeling that something's off. You take a sip of your coffee, trying to calm your nerves. You've been struggling to make ends meet lately, and the thought of facing your mother's disapproval is daunting. But you know you have to try, for your own sake, as much as hers. As you glance around the cafe, you notice a couple arguing in the corner. Their voices are hushed, but the tension between them is palpable. You feel a pang of recognition, remembering your own arguments with your mother over the years. You take a deep breath and try to focus on the present moment. You've got this, you tell yourself. You're a grown adult, capable of handling your own finances. Your mother might not understand, but that's okay. Just then, the waiter approaches your table, a friendly smile on his face. "Can I get you anything else, hon?" he asks. You shake your head, feeling a sense of unease. "No, thanks," you say. "Just the check, please." The waiter nods and disappears into the kitchen. You sit there, fidgeting with your phone, waiting for the check to arrive. It's then that you notice something strange, a large, leather-bound book on the waiter's tray as he exits the kitchen. Your curiosity piqued, you watch as the waiter approaches your table once more. But this time he's not alone. Your mother is standing beside him, a look of shock on her face. "What's going on?" you ask, feeling a sense of trepidation. The waiter hands you a small piece of paper with a single sentence scribbled on it. "Your mother said you couldn't pay for dinner." You feel a surge of embarrassment and anger. Why is your mother doing this? You've been struggling to make ends meet, but you've always been honest with her about your financial situation. As you look up at your mother, you see a glimmer of something in her eyes. It's not anger or disappointment. It's something else entirely. "Mom," you say, trying to keep your voice steady. "What's going on?" Your mother takes a deep breath, her eyes never leaving yours. "I'm sorry," she says. "I had to see this for myself. I had to know the truth." The waiter steps forward, his voice low and even. "Your mother is the owner of this restaurant," he explains. "And she's been keeping a ledger of every patron who's struggled to pay their bill. You're not the first person she's tested like this, and you won't be the last." You feel a sense of shock wash over you. Your mother, the owner of this restaurant? You had no idea. As you sit there trying to process this new information, you realize that this is just the beginning. Your mother's actions are more than just a test, they're a revelation. You think back to all the times you've struggled to make ends meet, all the times you've felt like you're not good enough. And now, you're faced with the possibility that your mother has been using her restaurant as a way to keep tabs on you. The waiter hands you the ledger, and you feel a sense of trepidation as you open it. The pages are filled with names and dates, each entry detailing a patron's financial struggles. You feel a sense of anger and hurt rising up inside you. How could your mother do this to you? And what does it mean for your relationship with her? As you sit there trying to make sense of this new information, you realize that your life is about to take a dramatic turn. But what does it mean? And what will you do next? The waiter disappears into the kitchen, leaving you alone with the ledger. You feel a sense of uncertainty, but also a sense of determination. You're going to get to the bottom of this, no matter what it takes. And as you sit there, staring at the ledger, you can't help but wonder, what other secrets is your mother hiding? You sat at the cafe, staring blankly at the phone in your hand. Your mother's words still echoed in your mind. "You can't afford dinner." The memory stung, but it was nothing new. You'd grown accustomed to her disapproval, her constant reminders of your supposed shortcomings. But today felt different. Today, something inside you snapped. You couldn't shake the feeling that your mother was hiding something from you. Her words, once so cutting, now seemed like a ruse. You began to wonder what she might be hiding. Was it something to do with the family finances? Or was it something more sinister? As you pondered these questions, a waiter approached your table, his expression sympathetic. "Your mother's waiting for you," he said, his voice soft. "But before you go, I think you should see this." He handed you a thick ledger, its pages yellowed with age. You opened it, and a chill ran down your spine. The entries were cryptic, but one thing became clear. Your mother had been keeping secrets. Secrets that went far beyond the family finances. You felt a wave of anger wash over you. How could she do this? How could she keep such a dark secret from you? The ledger, once a tool for tracking expenses, now felt like a key to a web of deceit. As you flipped through the pages, you realized that your mother's actions went beyond just hiding money. She'd been embezzling funds from friends and family, using the restaurant's ledger to cover her tracks. The more you read, the more your anger turned to disgust. How could someone you trusted so deeply betray you like this? The waiter's words echoed in your mind. Your mother's waiting for you. But now, you weren't sure if you wanted to see her. You felt betrayed, used. The revelation had left you reeling, questioning everything you thought you knew about your family. You looked up, the ledger still clutched in your hand. The waiter's expression was sympathetic, but you saw something else there, something that made you wonder if he knew more than he was letting on. Did he know about your mother's secrets? Had he been a part of this web of deceit all along? You felt a shiver run down your spine as you realized that you were just a pawn in a much larger game. Your mother's actions had put you in the middle of something far more sinister than you could have ever imagined. And now, you were faced with a daunting decision. Do you confront your mother about her secrets, or do you walk away, leaving the past behind? The ledger, once a key to a web of deceit, now felt like a weight around your neck, a reminder of the secrets that bound you to your mother. As you sat there, the ledger still clutched in your hand, you knew that your life would never be the same. The revelation had left you reeling, but it had also given you a choice. You could choose to forgive your mother, to let go of the anger and move on. Or you could choose to confront her, to demand the truth and see justice served. The decision was yours and yours alone. But one thing was certain, your life was about to change in ways you never thought possible. You sat at the small cafe, nursing a cup of coffee and staring blankly at the phone in your hand. The words of the waiter still echoed in your mind. Your mother has sent over the restaurant's ledger. She wants to show you something. You felt a mix of emotions, confusion, curiosity, and a hint of defiance. As you took the ledger from the waiter, a sense of trepidation washed over you. You'd been arguing with your mother for weeks about dinner, or rather about who was paying for it. She'd said you couldn't afford it, but you knew that wasn't true. You'd been working hard, and your bank account was in the black. But what you saw in that ledger changed everything. It was a record of every meal, every drink, and every tip you'd ever given to the restaurant. And right at the top, in bold letters, was a single entry, Mother's account. Your eyes widened as you realized the truth. Your mother had been paying for every meal you'd ever had at this restaurant, and probably many others. The truth hit you like a ton of bricks. All those times you'd felt belittled. All those times you'd felt like you weren't good enough. It was all just a facade. Your mother wasn't trying to control you. She was trying to take care of you. The shame and guilt that washed over you were overwhelming, but they were also liberating. You couldn't help but think of all the times you'd fought with your mother, all the times you'd told her she didn't understand you. And now, in this moment, you realized that she'd been trying to understand you all along. She'd been trying to show you that she cared, that she was invested in your life. As you closed the ledger, you felt a sense of redemption wash over you. You realized that your mother wasn't perfect, but she was trying. And in that moment, you knew that you had a choice to make. You could continue down the path of anger and resentment, or you could try to understand her perspective. You took a deep breath, and as you did, you felt a weight lift off your shoulders. You knew that you still had work to do, that you still had to navigate the complexities of your relationship with your mother. But for the first time in a long time, you felt a sense of hope. You felt like you could start anew, like you could build a stronger, more loving relationship with the person who'd been trying to take care of you all along. As you looked around the cafe, you noticed the people around you, laughing and chatting with their loved ones. You realized that everyone has their own struggles, their own relationships to navigate. And in that moment, you felt a sense of solidarity with them. You felt like you were part of a larger community, a community that was flawed and imperfect, but also beautiful and worthy of love. The waiter came over, and you smiled at him. "Thank you for showing me this," you said, your voice shaking with emotion. "I think I need to go talk to my mother." The waiter nodded, and as you stood up to leave, you felt a sense of closure, of growth, and of hope. You knew that you still had a long way to go, but you also knew that you were ready to start anew.